What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global back here with another video, and in this one, we are going to be talking about yet again another running back to the New England Patriots because this seems to be the heavy conversation right now. Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliot, and really any high-name running back to the New England Patriots right now. That's the biggest discussion outside of DeAndre Hopkins. Before we hop into today's video, though, make sure you guys do leave a massive like on this video, guys. I know a lot of YouTubers say that, but it actually does something. It's not just for looks, right? It actually tells the YouTube algorithm to push my video out into the world to let other football fans and Patriots fans find this video, and it just overall helps the channel grow significantly if everybody just takes a quick millisecond to just hit that thumbs up button. But Zeke Elliott is just one of the big free agent running backs that still do not have a home. And unfortunately, right now, it's a real thing. It's a real thing for running backs in the National Football League to where it's tough to play that position, right? Because there's not a lot of turnover there. There's not a lot of need for it at this point. It's a pass-first league, so you see a lot of really great players that should have teams as soon as they're released, just sitting on the open market for months and months and months. I mean, we got Kareem Hunt, we got Zeke Elliott, we got Dalvin Cook. We could go on and on talking about some of these premier running backs. And we already talked about Dalvin Cook to the Patriots on this channel, but now we're going to talk about Zeke because many people have projected Zeke Elliott to actually sign with the Patriots. And what I've seen is a one-year contract for about $5 million. And what I think a lot of fans will hear, at least who watch my Dalvin Cook video, will say, well, Patriots Global, right? If the Patriots are going to sign Zeke Elliott to a one-year, $5 million deal, why not offer that same contract to Dalvin Cook, who has at least a level of interest in joining the Patriots? And that's because Dalvin Cook is going to have a bigger market, and Dalvin Cook is going to get more money than Zeke Elliott is at the end of the day. Dalvin Cook is still a number one running back. Dalvin Cook is still putting up some of the top numbers amongst running backs in the entire National Football League. Zeke Elliott at this point, to me, feels more like a spellback because he's really taken a step back each and every single year since he's joined the National Football League. I mean, he came out guns up blazing in college, guns up blazing first year and even second year in the NFL, but just started to take a step back each year. And the reason that I think Zeke Elliott makes a lot more sense is for a couple of reasons, right? And I just want to make one thing clear before I get into that. In a perfect world, which running back would I take? It'd be Dalvin Cook. If you have Dalvin Cook or Ramondre at the end of the day, that's crazy. That's the best tandem running back core in the NFL, but it's just not going to happen. So from a realistic standpoint and from a Patriots need and schematic fit standpoint, which one's better? It's Zeke Elliott. Now, you look at what the Patriots currently need, and like I said, that is a spellback. They don't need a bell cow number one running back. They need a guy that, once you reach the red zone, you can kind of just punch it in from 10 yards out, from 5 yards out. You're on the goal line. You just need to get it in, or you're on a 4th and 1 and a 4th and inches. You give the ball to Zeke. Because I feel like at this point in his career, like I said, Zeke is not a bell cow running back anymore. That's just not what he is. He's a spellback. He's a guy that you're going to want to get into the rotation. I think that's how you keep him fresh, but that's also how you take some of the attention away from Ramondre and also keep him fresh. But I think one of the biggest things the Patriots need at the running back position still is not a running back who can carry the rock and bulldozer over guys, isn't a guy who you need to be a pass-catching back on third downs. They have that. You need a guy who you can rely on to get you those tough yardages, but a guy who can pass block for Mac Jones, because it seems like that is an inconsistent area in this running back group, is a guy who can come on the field and pass block. And why is this important? Because this is a year, maybe even more than ever, the Patriots will need to find creative ways to keep Mac Jones protected. The interior of this O-line looks great. The tackles could easily be the make or break deal for the Patriots this season, meaning that you're going to have to find ways with your wide receivers, your tight ends, your running backs to keep Mac Jones safe and upright in order to give him more time for this passing game to keep going. And that is where Ezekiel Elliott enters, as he is still a very, very good pass blocking running back and would immediately step in and be the best one on this Patriots roster. Now, guys, real quick, I got to let you in on a very exclusive deal with my friends over at FanDuel. Because, guys, Baseball season is in full swing, and there's no better place to get in with the action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Guess that is $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. Just go to FanDuel.com/Boston to join today. Now, personally, I'm not a big baseball guy, but I do know a thing or two about what's currently going on in the MLB. And one little tidbit that I can give you is right now, just bet on the Braves or bet on the Rangers to win, and you're likely going to win some money. So guys, don't miss your chance to snag a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to FanDuel.com/Boston to sign up. FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission, guys. Make sure you are 21 and present in the state of Massachusetts. First online real money wager only. The $10 deposit is required. Refunds are issued as a non-withdrawable bonus bet that does expire in 14 days. Restrictions do apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Hope is here at gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Play it smart from the start and go to GameSenseMA.com or call 1-800-GAM-1234. Now, ultimately, how real do I think the possibility is that Zeke does sign with the Patriots? Well, I think at this point, any high-end veteran joining the Patriots isn't very likely, just because, like I said before, I said it in my Dalvin Cook video, I think the Patriots are comfortable with what they have at running back, at least for right now. Now, if we get into training camp and this proves to be an issue at running back, then okay, then we start to get into that discussion. But so far, we haven't seen anything that should make anybody worried with this running back core. There's a lot of questions on offense, but I think for the most part, the running back position is just one that I don't have a whole lot of questions about. I think it's, not necessarily solidified, but something that, if we had a game tomorrow, you could pretty much break down exactly what's going to happen and how they're going to be utilized. The other way I could potentially see the Patriots making one of these moves is if somebody goes down. Now, that would more realistically be a Ramondre Stevenson. I think if your bell cow goes down, then you talk about bringing in a more premier running back. But let's say a Ty Montgomery goes down. Let's say you have a Kevin Harris go down, who I think they have big plans for. Then maybe you get into the discussion where, hey, our offense is struggling. We're having some issues at running back. We need to bring in a guy who can absolutely solidify this, and then that would not surprise me. Now, with that being said, I think if the Patriots were to make that move, it would be around the time of training camp. I think training camp would start. They would want to get a little bit of a look at the running back position before they made any of these moves. And the question mark is going to be, which of these running backs are still going to be free agents at that time? Now, if I had to make a bet, I would say that the majority of these guys are likely to be signed, not be signed, if not all of them. But it wouldn't surprise me if maybe one or two of the premier running backs would be signed by that point. I think the Pats have a decent amount of bodies already at the running back position who are going to be ahead of really any other running back that currently steps on the field, unless it is one of those four premier running backs. And we do know, too, that Belichick very much does value your experience in this system, right? Like, he'd rather go with a guy who, has been here since April or March than a guy who is more talented, clearly, but just got here 2 weeks into training camp. So at the end of the day, I do think that the Patriots are pretty content with their running back core, and if anything ultimately will happen, it'll be around training camp, and it would ultimately come down to an injury or just they're dissatisfied with what they're getting from this running back core, because this core, at least to start the season, is going to be very much dependent. Or I guess I should say dependent on. At the end of the day, though, I do think that Zeke makes a lot of sense for this team. He makes a lot more sense, I would say, at the end of the day than a Dalvin Cook does. And I do know that Zeke hasn't exactly gotten the interest league-wide that a lot of people ultimately thought that he was going to, and that he even thought he was going to. So I don't even think he's going to make the money he thinks he's going to also, which I do think bodes well if you are somebody who wants Dalvin Cook to the Patriots. But what are your guys' thoughts on Zeke to the Patriots? But what are your guys' thoughts on Zeke Elliott to the Patriots? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video, and of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Like always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and go Pats.